pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call meeting order. We approve tonight's agenda. I make a motion to approve. All in favor? Aye. This year we have 2025 comprehensive plan steering committee meeting.
We've got our cohorts from Curbsy here today, and I'll let you guys take the reins on that kind of stuff. But we did meet 8/19, and we built after that. We were able to get a survey put together, and we've got that making the rounds now. And the other part was the steering committee date. So we went through the whole document, and I shared our 5-year plan. And I think our downtown revitalization plan. So from there, I'll turn it over.
Okay. So I have some stuff for you guys.
I didn't do any printing, so that's great.
That's okay. I printed for you.
Awesome.
Okay. Have they seen the survey, Andrew?
I believe, no, I don't remember. I think I shared it with everybody. Yeah, via email, but print copy. Yeah, absolutely.
So
That's great.
Here's some homework.
Just kidding.
Stack of paper.
I know it's really not that thick.
Sure.
So it's more like here's some notes that we can kind of go over today.
Sure.
It's like one of those movies that, take you.
Exactly. Well, and I didn't want to wait. It's more I'll kill a couple of trees because I didn't want to wait for it to print duplex.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where we're at.
I was gonna say it's one-sided too, so that makes it a lot slimmer. Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
I know you guys know Edwin most likely. I've been up here a couple of times. I'm Emily Allball, also with Curbsy. So we came up and met with Joe and Andrew, and we literally combed through the entire comp plan. And we're like, okay, what have we accomplished in the last, because it was in 2019 that this plan was adopted.
This one here.
What has changed and kind of where we're wanting to go, because comp plans are 20-year kind of vision, essentially. So we kind of wanted to look at for this update, what do we kind of want to focus on for the next 5 years? And we looked at it more for an implementation and action item, kind of strategy, so that we can come up and kind of work with you guys and start putting a little bit of implementation guidance so we can match you up with some of those current and future funding rounds with the federal monies that we work with typically, or we can help you kind of work with other area partners that might be able to come to the table as financial partners. So you're going to see there's each of these areas, and this is very, very, very rough. So don't think this is the final format or anything. And it's not meant to be a complete overhaul of your plan. It's essentially an update or like an appendix or a small amendment to your current plan, because there's still tons of great information in that plan, and we don't want that to be gone wayside. So you're going to see that there are kind of the areas. If you flip to that second page, I'm sorry, that one is in it. You sure may. There you go. So if you kind of look on that second page, you're going to see land use, public infrastructure, and utilities. So public infrastructure and utilities kind of takes the place of what currently is in your current comp plan as public services. Because a lot of the language and a lot of the action items that were within that existing chapter have either already been accomplished or don't really lead towards the direction that you guys have been pursuing. We really wanted to focus on what are the current needs of your existing utility system. So that's stormwater, that's wastewater, that's drinking water. Broadband, you guys are already doing a great job at doing that. Most of your community is already covered, or there's tons of providers in the area that can provide those services to kind of start filling in those gaps. So we don't need to focus on that as heavily as other areas. So you're going to see within, and each of these are separate sections. We want this to be something that's usable, that is not just going to get bogged down. It's not going to bog you guys down. We know that this is a full-time position with a part-time gig, right? I know that. I can speak to that. My husband is a council member for our community. So I understand it. I understand the commitment that you guys have. So we want this to be something that you can pick up when it comes time for budget. That you can say, what do we want to accomplish this year? How can we personally finance this? But what are some other opportunities that we can do? And what does that look like for the next 5 years? So that's kind of the strategy that we're kind of taking. So as you go through this, you'll be able to kind of see some of those action items that you have not yet accomplished and that you would like to pursue or accomplish. We're still kind of on tip of the iceberg of pursuing and looking into the park 5-year master plan, because we want to take some of those goals and some of those action items and put it in here, because your comprehensive plan is collective. So it's taking some of the parts from, your 5-year master plan, the Ball State downtown revitalization plan, some of those things that maybe we can knock the dust off a little bit, freshen them up a little, but we can take some of those action items and put in here. So that's kind of what we're working on. So I don't want to bog you down with lots of information tonight. So I want you guys to take this and take a look at it. Tell us if we're not going in the right direction. I know the conversation that we had was wonderful. We love being able to come to our communities and seeing like, hey, what have you done? And you guys checked a lot of boxes, which I love seeing communities, especially this size, be able to accomplish so much. I mean, the beautification that you're doing to the downtown is wonderful. I mean, it's literally going to be a tipping point for some of your businesses and things like that. We put some of that information in here. So take a look at it. I do have also copies of the survey. That this is kind of going to be, I guess, our next kind of step. We're going to take feedback from you guys on the information provided in this packet. And like I said, this is very rough. We haven't started framework. We'll just call it that. It's framework. And we will start to build that out a little bit more as we get some additional information from you guys. But also from the public, because what makes North Judson is the public, right? Our residents. So we want to make sure that we're able to get a little bit of their input and incorporate that so that we can incorporate that. So these are just kind of some draft survey questions that are going to help kind of guide and direct some of that residential input. This will be a online survey, but we'll also have paper copies available. We do kind of rely on you guys. You're the locals, so you're going to know where those need to go. You're also going to be able to let us know if there's key members of the public that you would like us to kind of talk to, if they're kind of like those
Movers and shakers.
Exactly, yeah. Movers and shakers. We like to talk to those people because those are the people that get things done. But they're also the people that can rally your community to help kind of get more things done. So, many hands make light work, right? So we're all about being able to have conversations with those people also. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I do want to get some feedback on this. I know we're kind of on a little bit quicker schedule. We would like to have this plan back to you completed. Since it is it's just an update, a very small update. I do want to keep kind of reiterating that. By October, the end of October is our goal right now, is to get this back to you. So we're going to need to get public input and get your feedback.
Is there a reason why?
For getting the time crunch. Well, that was based upon the initial contract and what we had kind of discussed.
We're really busy in November and December
Yeah.
with grants this year, so we'd like to get it done, get it to you before.
So your guys did.
And I know we had it was good because we've been busy all summer anyway, but regardless, it's not I know the last time we did this, it was probably a 3-month total thing. And so just doing an update, it shouldn't take as long as that.
No.
But I get your point. So in connecting people, you know, like we have, tomorrow we have a meeting between, the person who has the Main Street Commission, committee right now with the one who's wanting to take that over. Do you want us to connect you through phone calls, phone numbers,
That'd be
connect with
great.
them, email, and
Email
then set up
or
time to
phone.
talk?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
yep, just a quick
So-
conversation. We can get lots of information
Good.
that way.
James, I know Kara, I wouldn't mind Kara being involved too. She does our makers market. She's got a lot of, you know, input on that. And Kara always has input, let's be
Always.
honest. Kelly Shepherd was another one,
Yeah.
superintendent. Nick was unable to make it, but I know we had him relay the message to everybody on the park board, but
If there's school too, you kind of hit two there as well.
yes, exactly, exactly.
Right.
And our trail representatives are here tonight, so we'll connect you guys after,
Yeah.
actually after the meeting, if you want to connect. That would be great to spend their ear. If anybody else has any recommendations, I know we've probably shared an email with everybody, so you can text Joe or I a recommendation
Yeah.
for somebody in town. That
I'm sure I'll think of some people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's more expedited than it is labor intensive, where last time we did have a public engagement session, we had, it's not that, you know, that was, and the cost of the work involved is not even a quarter of what it was for that initial plan, which is great because we invest in that and we don't have to redo that whole $40,000 adventure. We do it in a more easier way. We're not taking up as much people's time. We get their time when they're available, have 5 minutes to talk, 20 minutes to talk, whatever. So yeah, if you guys have other people that I mentioned, James Carrick, Kelly Shepherd, and Nick, if you've got people beyond that, let us know. Maybe our new building inspector, things like that. He's still new to it, but it still may be good to be, he's a contractor anyway, so maybe good in that regard. So we'll put drafts, now a draft. Does that mean, do we want to thumb through it and look at it? I thought it covers a lot of stuff. But if there's any changes anybody sees, thumbing through it now, we haven't necessarily pushed it out quite yet, but I assumed after this evening, we could push
We
this
can
out.
definitely push it out.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to make sure these questions correlate to the areas that are kind of specific to those target areas. But they're also just general, like, public input question. So, just what do you like the town? What don't you like the town? I mean, those are always the questions that we want to know, right?
Sure.
Because if we don't ask those questions, I mean, how do we start working towards the greater good, right?
Yeah.
So that's we just want to kind of get some feedback on this. This is, again, it's super quick for us to make edits and changes. It's live on our drive internally right now. But nothing is live to the public yet, since we aren't going to put anything out, obviously, without your blessing. So, yeah, typically, you're only going to get the most responses you're going to get are going to be within like a 2-week frame anyways. So after that, it loses popularity and people are kind of, why are we doing this? Even if we refresh and share and continue to.
Yeah, the
push
first
things.
one, yeah, the most visible involved people are gonna take it right away.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you'll find the other ones here and there. Now, we will put them out here and I'll have Aaron collect them and we'll just scan them and send them to you. You can
That's
add them to the data.
Yeah, and we've done QR codes, like on little flyers,
yeah.
that we can help.
Yes,
That's
we can
always
print
great
those here. Yeah, we have one sitting out for like our big item pickup. Yeah, in
Yeah.
October, just an awareness thing and half the page, they can
Right.
take it with them and do it. That would be a great thing to
Would it
have.
be something we would share online since we're looking for town info? That works, right?
Yep, yep, that's the
Oh,
major one, is
absolutely.
social media
I'm
push on
gonna hand
website.
it to you.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Typically, we always say, your town website, if you have a town webpage, which I know you guys, or town Facebook page, which I know you guys do, it's very active. You have a great following on it. If your park has a Facebook page, we always say encourage participation there. You can either share to each of those pages or just direct a link. We give you the hot link and you can put it wherever you want. So that's
That's great.
we make it flexible because you guys know where people are going to find it and know how to reach your locals.
And anymore, if you're gonna reach 10 times the number of people online as you will, somebody coming in and grabbing one or even taking them around,
So we're just kind of here tonight, just kind of have the conversation, start the conversation. I'll let Edwin, if there's anything else that you think I'm missing. Yeah, we're just kind of here to have a conversation with you. If there are any questions, or comments, about the process or anything, we're here. We would love the feedback. Let's be able to chat. This is your town. We're here to help you plan your vision.
So we have another meeting like this where we have to review. Or is that something you guys are gonna work with Joe and Andrew separately and then they can work through us, or is that?
That is up to you. How would you like that to be handled? We are more than happy to come back. That's not an issue.
I wouldn't mind a second meeting like this
Yeah.
after you've got a chance to go through this. So what Joe and I did basically is what it feels like in here is, some of the stuff we did around, wastewater and water, public infrastructure. Those are things that we've seen on the horizon for years, or we'll see coming through the pipe. Stormwater utility planning, we talked about a stormwater fee on our, instead of raising rates, we add a stormwater fee. The water and sewer rates have helped us facilitate more stormwater work in town as we have water and sewer major. Then we have water and sewer. The only other thing that we've done more of is streets. So stormwater has been a big thing recently. So those are the things we're adding to our comp plan too. And in here, Okra stormwater utility plans where we put it together a plan of other streets that may need it down the line. So looking for the utility side, that's going to be one that's a little more embedded in here. Now, placemaking, when you go to a topic like placemaking, you're going to want more input from those people who have, school ties, who have downtown business ties, that kind of thing. Economic development, that's another one. So, and this may be something we want to, talk over the next couple of meetings. I can put it on the agenda. We can have, as you're thinking about these things over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we meet, early October, then you can come back with thoughts and we get from the survey, what the survey, we can discuss those, prioritize.
Survey out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was gonna say, a lot of the stuff could be added based on the survey.
Right.
exactly. And we'll
Right.
prioritize and see what people want to see. Housing, another one, we'll get a sense, there's a number of questions in here about housing that I think it gives us a sense of what do we want to try to facilitate and what does that mean for things like our BZA and our planning commission of their approving this in this area? Well, actually, our comp plan, we're looking to make this area housing. We're looking to make this area more industrial than we are multifamily residential, that kind of thing. And we've sort of shifted with the tide as we've seen there was going to be industry on the north side of town. Well, maybe now there's housing you could build back there. On the east side of town, it was like multifamily housing. Well, there may be commercial interests that want to come in and occupy that space. The flexibility of doing that is because we haven't nailed ourselves to this as much as maybe we could have, which is probably a good thing, the flexibility there, because we don't want to miss an opportunity to have either A, an employer, or B, housing opportunities in an area where we foresaw industrial. There's no need to curb one way or the other, but at least it lets us plan as we've seen things develop. We can plan around where future initiatives may grow or may make the most sense to take on.
Right, and you will see, so one of the things that we kind of discussed with Joe and Andrew, one of the things, we all learn from each other, right? So we know, our region covers 8 counties, so we have a lot of research and development, right? So we know some of the programs that have been really beneficial to other communities that are, represented kind of if you're saying demographics with your size. And we've seen how programs can kind of work for them. So, we're not opposed to, R&D, rip off and duplicate, right? So we know if it works for one community, it's not going to hurt to try in your community. So you're gonna see through here some examples. So we're gonna be able to put some case studies and some of those specific projects, like some facade improvement programs. You have there's a county in our region that has a wonderful facade program that has had really great success for their downtown. So we would like to share that with you. And what's beautiful is they love to share it. So
Yeah,
I
see that a lot.
and just so there's going to be some notes in here. This is kind of to keep my brain fresh on, hey, I want to put this because this is a great project from this community. I want to share it with you guys. It's got some good meat to it. So you'll kind of see through here, like there's, you know, like some, you'll see, you know, the Jasper County facade program, different just notes like that. So kind of ignore those for the time being until you kind of see that. But I think that that really helps because it shows that this community did that, it worked for them. You can take that and modify it for your specific community's needs. And that's really great to be able to see and do that. It really just, it takes kind of some of the guesswork out. It simplifies it, but it gives you a creative solution that you guys can tailor to you. So, and we did kind of look at, if you want to kind of look at this overall, you know, we looked at utilities, we looked at, you know, connections. So how do you make your community a great trail community? So how do we look at building upon some of those current programs you're already doing to improve your connection? How do we creatively get that worked in so that you're not solely funding all of this stuff, right? So we looked at, you know, your downtown. When we were able to work with you guys on the original comprehensive plan application, we were able to kind of see some of those issues that you were experiencing with downtown. You know, how can we continue to build on, you know, the success of the beautification and things like that? So looking at creating your downtown as a destination but connecting it to those additional attractions outside. So you have a beautiful brand now. You have a beautiful logo that's being utilized on all of your new signage. Okay, let's continue to build those efforts. And what does that look like for your gateways? What does that look like for bringing people into your community and really putting that mark out there for people to know and understand what is North Judson? Who are you? What do they do? So we're really looking at how do you build that brand? So that ties to economic development, that ties to placemaking, and a whole lot of different things. So you're going to see there's kind of some, we've taken some of the initial goals and areas of that 2019 comp plan, those bones, and we've kind of woven some of those together because they made a little bit more sense for this period of time to kind of cross those and bring them together rather than having them independent. And we were kind of seeing a little bit of disconnect and some things that's kind of got a little hard to navigate. So we want to make it easier for you guys. Let's bring them to one area. So you'll kind of see that. So when you're kind of flipping through here and like, wait, where's this at in that old plan? So take a look at it. Take a look at the survey. Let us know if we're going completely in the wrong direction. I hope that you'll find, based upon the conversations when we met, that it's a direction that you see your community going for the next 5 years. We look forward to furthering the conversations with you guys. And I know both Andrew and Joe have our contact information. I walked off and left my cards sitting on my desk. But they have our contact information. I know, John, you know how to get in contact with us. And Josh, I think you got both of our contacts too. So
I'll make sure everybody else, because I'll
Yeah.
actually, on our emails with what I shared, comp plan, that stuff, I'll just forward all that to these guys. That way they've got the plans right there too.
perfect.
In hard, you know, paper copies are one thing. We have a few copies here. But the online version is easy, you know, to flip through and look at how it relates. Now, a lot of stuff, like we said, that have been things we've done. And then our other things that just is a tailored move in this direction or that. That's you're woven is the perfect word for that. It's like taking what our aspirations were in 2019 and our aspirations. It was mainly the council, a lot of hands off. It was a lot of the planning people with us and members of the community that wove that. You know, the downtown stuff, it's banners, it's that signage. Those are things we still want to do, make sure they're in to me, and we want to make sure they're in here. Those have been things we want to do for a long time. We're just seeing come to fruition, the planners, the benches, all that. So it's like keeping those things that we haven't done, but we planned on doing 5 years ago. Well, there's a reason they're in there, but there are some that it's like it's hard to decipher. And like you said, HWC, it was like action items or goals, which is which. You know, we're kind of simplifying this bigger plan that has maybe a little more fluff in it than we need. it's being honed down into something much more pointed and much more usable and calculated. Yep, for sure. So I'll keep it on the agenda. We'll continue the conversation. We can always forward our
Yeah, so
thoughts.
I just, as
you
you
guys.
talking here, I think is we need a timeline.
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
our timeline is versus what you guys are looking for. So we have to have that, with our meetings. And
Yep,
with our
yep.
timeframes of when you want feedback by what day. And,
Yep.
that's kind
So,
of important if we're gonna move forward and let her know,
yeah, absolutely.
if these are the right questions on the survey. I don't know the answer to that right now, but.
Sure. Yeah, and I would say that would be the more quicker thing in the order of operations. The survey will be something we want to get out sooner
Yes.
in order to give it a few weeks. And I would say, maybe we have an extra week in September. So, maybe if we can get it out within the next week. That still leaves us a short one, but regardless.
I would say, could we get feedback on the survey question?
Yeah.
Of if there's something in there that you don't like, or you want it taken out, or if there's something that you would like added. If we could have that feedback by the 19th, then we could send, that gives you time. I know you have a couple of people that you wanted to kind of send it around. I know that's 2 weeks, but that's still.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it out to anybody until tomorrow anyways.
So, yeah, and I was thinking, the
And then-
feedback on the survey, the feedback would have been just through the members of the community. We would do that, or feedback on the survey would just be who's here.
Okay,
So it's a
perfect.
quicker process.
Okay, so, but still, I know
Yeah,
you all
yeah.
are busy, so I wanna be respectful of your time. So we could do that, and then we could send, it would be a little bit of a quick turnaround, but we could get that live. Send kind of a final draft out like that Monday. And I mean, we could that'd be the 22nd. If we could get final approval on that, and we should go live on the 23rd. So earlier feedback, the better. We could get it turned around to you a little bit quicker. But ideally, I would really like to see that go live on the 23rd. So then it would run basically through the 6th. We could have that. Or it could even be where we would turn it off on the 3rd, and you guys, did you meet on the 6th? October 6th. So we could have data, essentially at least preliminary data, back to you by the 6th. And we can send preliminary data anytime. Because it's just a snapshot of what. But that would be a goal. And we could even come up that evening.
I was gonna say that would be good because I know the in-between weekends, the 10th to the 17th, were out. But yeah, so meeting in and around that time, that way you then have the bulk of August or the bulk of October to take that back and finish it up. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just plan on bringing
We could
data
do
to you.
before our regular meeting. Is it a Monday, the 10/6?
Yeah, 10/6 is the first Monday.
Okay, so we could even meet at. Our meetings at
Well, they
6:30
can do it.
in a regular meeting.
Yeah, they can do
Yeah,
our agenda.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
And I mean, if the council, they've got the survey in front of them, if we get some feedback by the end of this week, any changes or go with it, then we can.
Yeah, there's an expedited.
Yeah, it might
And then
be
we can
faster.
expedite things. Yeah, that's, I'm like,
I just want everybody to be clear on it. If you meet again.
Yeah.
talk about certain things that doesn't always.
I understand.
Yep, so you guys will be at our 10/6 meeting. That's great. Yeah, do it
Okay.
all in one evening at
Yeah.
one meeting.
And then we can, we'll be able, and hopefully we can have some of those conversations with those stakeholders, even in that meantime.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I would hope.
Yeah, then we can bring some of that information.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that would be
Cool.
great.
Very good.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you don't have any feedback on this, just looking through this, I like it because there's room to jot down notes on this
Yes.
document for sure.
That's kind of, I'm like, we're gonna
Yep.
keep this one short, so you
Yep.
can put lots of
Yep, thoughts and notes in there and then,
doodles. We love
yeah,
doodles.
for sure. And I would even say to communicate in your own time, not worry about the next time we're meeting to bring this stuff. once you have a chance to go through that, if you guys have any notes on it, just feel free to share that at any time with Joe, myself, Edwin, or
Hey, is there anything else with that? Bill, you got anything else?
I have nothing.
How about? You guys have anything for that? Sorry. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Lucas.
Well, thank you. We just wanted to find out what's going on. I'm extremely impressed with what you've done since the last time you came together to do this, and the park's wonderful. So much is going on. We thought we'd give you a quick update too. There is the grading has been done on the side of the trail that's on English Lake Road. It's got a little bit different entrance than you expected, but that was a big step to get started with all of that, working on that. And we have talked with Joe and Andrew a lot about things. And we hear from other people that they would like the signage. You mentioned the signage. Where is finger huts? Where can I get Band-Aids? You know, that kind of thing. And there are a lot of Trail Town examples with signs that go this way and point to different things. So that's some feedback we have gotten. And we recently did a huge project. It's a pilot project because we're not sure if it's going to work, but putting asphalt millings on places in the trail where it's been damaged. And we had so many people, so many volunteers show up, we weren't able to use them all. So that was a really good sign. And we saw young people that we haven't seen as much. One young man said he wished he had an easier way to get to the trail from I think he lives on the west side. And he drives goes through traffic and so forth, the lanes you were talking about. I think that'd be something that would be popular with people, especially if they have children.
I had the same thing. I wish that my house was closer when I leave on my bike. I wish it was closer to the trail. I'm over by.
You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So those were just some of the things that we've picked up from working with people.
There is a spot back there. We own property.
Where at?
The
Oh,
old
yeah,
rail bed.
the rail bed. Yeah, that's true.
It leads right to it.
Wow.
I
That
mean,
would be
it's like
pretty
anything
neat.
else. I mean,
That would be pretty
I
neat. Yeah,
hope you get there. It's
no,
right
that
there.
would be pretty neat. Yeah, if it was a paved, you know.
I don't just kidding with that
Big
part.
path.
but Yes, it is right there.
I
I mean,
know.
literally,
I didn't.
your
even thought of it.
Sheridan runs right
Jane
through
Ellen.
there.
Jane Ellen.
Right
gave it
behind
to
where
the
Josh
town.
lived.
Yeah, gave it to
Years
the
right
town.
there.
Jane Ellen did. Yeah.
Yeah, she bought
Bought
it.
it, yeah.
It runs all the way to 500.
Yeah, and then it passed over to the property over there.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That whole rail bed. Oh, that would be cool to connect that.
What I'm here for.
Well, that's an aspect to add. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's not a ton of, we're doing more sidewalks in town, but you know, trail activity, Main Street seemed wide enough where if you had one lane, you know, a small lane, that's, I don't know what they are, 3 or 4 feet, 5 feet, whatever they end up being. You know, that's paint and that's sort of on Joe's side, MDH side, but something like that would be a longer term grant project to have.
And it would improve safety.
Connect, absolutely, yeah. And
Those
all those
just
people in
connected.
these neighborhoods could just funnel straight to Sheridan and get on the trail, you know? That's a great one for a comp plan.
Yeah,
you know?
down to the school,
Down the
you know,
line,
take it all.
absolutely, yeah. For sure. Great. That's wonderful. Yes, and we'll let you guys know when the survey is out and we'll put you on the list to, you know, get a conversation in with our people. You guys are one of the top with thy name, our park board trail people, school, that kind of thing. So as you know,
When you
signage.
send it-
Go ahead, go ahead.
When you send that, what kind of audience would you like us to send it out to?
Yeah, if you've
We have
got,
a lot
I
of
was gonna
people who
say,
come from Lake County,
yeah,
Porter County.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised
sure.
really how many people come from other counties to use the trail. So
Yeah.
if you want, we can kind of spread it out to the people that.
Yeah, the most active
You're not worried
users that
about how
you think.
many.
I would say I would take their advice on this.
Yeah, for the comp plan one, we would like to see a little bit more just tailored to North Judson,
Okay.
since it is kind of looking at their direct resident input. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to get some additional input, but I mean, I would like to see it a little bit more tailored to the local resident
Okay.
at this time.
We have a lot of people, well, we have people who come from Vermont.
Yeah.
And this is their place. They have breakfast here. They go, you know, buy
great.
stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, you can send it out.
I would
and we
say so,
can-
yeah.
I can, let me double check to see if we put this together a little while ago.
Is that something maybe we could put on the
We can
survey? Do
definitely
you
put
live
it.
in city limits? Do you live just outside of
Yeah.
town? Do you live in a neighboring?
Are you a visitor?
I
Yeah.
am
Are
a
you a frequent
visitor.
visitor to town? Or do
If
you
I
live
would-
here?
yeah,
Do you
I
not?
would
Yeah,
find that question just to see what the percentages are.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you
that's
might be surprised when you see that.
Yeah.
No, definitely. We can-
Yeah,
Come up with
Engagement.
a-
curious, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
Right.
But signage is one of those things historic when you're in the downtown area directly, post office, grocery, liquor store. Just kidding.
Those sidewalks.
Sure.
We're gonna see that trail.
Yeah.
We're gonna see sidewalks, that trail.
A deal. Put it in.
You know, what's funny, I have looked at that like, I don't know, probably like 5 times in my life. You thought, what can we do with this?
Yeah.
I'm like, we can't deer out there. I mean, that's gotta be illegal because you can't have that property.
Yeah.
But I thought about it, 'cause there's a cubby hole in there and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something that gotta be able to do something with this.
I know.
So a trail would be, yes, it is an old trail.
And that north side of town, he wanted to, there was talk of industrial, well, continuing the neighborhood there on the other side of the trail isn't a terrible idea. It's in town. And there's plenty of land it's zoned right now for SF2, the north side, whole north half of that. That it's not a terrible idea to build neighborhoods around trails. That's certainly a popular
We're trying to do that
prospect.
out here, we can get somebody to develop.
Yep. Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else with that?
No, but thank you for that.
Thank you.
It is.
Eric, you have anything?
Nope.
Anybody else have anything? I want to make sure everybody has a chance to want to say something. Okay, we're moving on. Town ordinance 2025-06. An ordinance establishing and updating schedule fees for the town of Morrisville.
Yes, I contacted Justin. You guys are good if you're Eastern
Thank you very
Standard
much.
Time. Yep, we'll be in touch.
Have a nice night. We won't bore you to death.
So we had, and this was months ago, we put this together after the discussions around building permit fees, all those things. I had a draft ordinance already that I think you guys should have from way back, but we made copies again. So the draft you see first is, I think, our old ordinance, our original 2022-06. So that's the old fee structure.
Can I have something?
Yep.
Is this necessary? I mean, I understand Todd thought it was. And that's why we did it, right? Because I don't think any of us seven brought this up as.
I think this was kind of his vendetta kind of thing.
So Joe, is this something you looked at and said, well,
Some of them were.
'cause I got a couple, go
Yeah,
ahead and then I,
yeah.
because that's
some of them-
fine,
some
but I
of
just
them
want to
did
make
that, but
sure
yeah.
that we're not doing this because.
So our input, well, Joe's on the building permit fee side, mine is limited to like ACH pet tags,
Yeah.
lien responses.
Okay, so we got a
stop
few, you guys got,
So-
so I don't have any that I think,
Yeah,
there's no hill here, I want to go put a flag
Yeah.
on, I'm not.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't remember these going up a whole lot when we did 2022. We are 3 years later, but 3 years isn't a long time, really.
Some of them were just some minor.
Yeah, and that's why it's a draft, is because this was put together. The main part of it is, we're gonna look at page 2 of 4, the very top. Permits, applications of the the draft, page 2 of 4. One more, John, 2 more.
Permits and applications, exhibit A.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that is what was updated through Todd's work with looking at surrounding communities and cities and towns that we have not we've not tackled these, and it's more detailed. It has which we passed the ordinance with the details around electrical or solar and all that. But this is, and certain things didn't change. Contract registration didn't change. This is just having them all in one place that has more detail and more cohesiveness around them. So that's the root of most of this, is that The other side is the labor fees, the equipment labor fees that Joe and Kim discussed on the very first page of the draft, the opening of the ordinance there, that first page that has equipment labor fees. That and the exhibit are the main updates to this. From my standpoint, there was very little that I didn't change anything on
Yeah, and some of the equipment rates just went up just because they,
nominally.
yeah,
1 to 150, 2 to 250, 125 stayed for the backhoe.
yeah.
Fuel and maintenance costs.
Yeah.
You know, they stayed, you look at backhoe, a snow bucket stayed the same. Dump truck, no change. Street sweeper, special request, no change. $25 on one of them.
It's really not.
Yeah,
Snow removal. These aren't things we see a lot of.
no, not at all.
But it is our equipment, it is our people, it is, that kind of thing.
And it's fees that we have on our book, so.
Already.
It's just to kind of review them and,
Yep. And you'll see on the old one that permits and application fees, the backside or page 2, you'll see that's where we pulled the exhibit A with new structure, additions, occupancy, porch. Those are all laid out in here with more specifics to them. Temporary construction, demolition permit, dwelling and accessory structures, there's more detail there. Permanent swimming pool, temporary swimming pool, signs and billboards, improvement, permit good for 1 year, that kind of thing, 30 days. Yada,
So
yada.
when someone, I don't, yes, I don't take the money, but when someone just puts gravel, re-gravels their driveway, they gotta have a permit for that. It's not if they already have it existing, right?
right, I don't believe so. Yeah, that's what we were hoping. He told him 545.
So
he could-
I just want to kind of understand, the difference between what,
I was always under the impression if it was existing, you're changing existing roof, they're not changing structures. You already have a gravel drive there.
Windows,
You're
you're taking out.
like my deck, okay, we redid some boards on my deck because it was rotting underneath. And I didn't think I needed a permit for that because I just I added 4 feet to my deck. And nothing changed other than the deck boards were replaced. Just-
You don't need
It didn't go out any further. I only added up.
That's the
It
thing, the
was the
scope,
same out.
the scope and
The
the
scope
footprint
was
is
the same
the same.
exact. It was the same exact.
No permit needed.
So that's why,
It's the same with fence, the same with windows. If we just put the same in here, there'd be no change.
Right.
When we go moving the structures, when we need our building inspector needs to
Because there's-
see it's
But
sound.
there's thing, exactly,
Construction.
right, that's why.
Yep.
So there's,
Absolutely. No, there's no more punitive, there's no more, some of these weren't changed with the last one either.
Yeah.
So it's like, just those updates.
And I know Frank went through some of his stuff just to, simply, update a few of them just because, like you said, it's been a while since the last update and, when someone's paying 80 cents for a copy or, things like that, it was just like, yeah,
right.
what are we doing? We're not gonna take your 80 cents.
If somebody comes in, that's the one, if somebody comes in and, oh, can I get a copy of this? It's like, just,
Yeah.
like, it's 20 cents, like,
Right.
So the one thing that I thought of is golf cart permits. 35 for the first time, because that's when they have to do the inspection. I mean, Frank has to come out,
I thought it was supposed to be inspected every year.
to my knowledge, no.
If it's
If it's the same exact golf cart,
same exact golf cart, same
then
VIN,
it's
no
just a
changes,
renewal.
then it's just a renewal like
Right,
that.
You have to prove your insurance still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's what's updated.
That's what you got me on that time.
What? My understanding
She
was
had-
different than,
Exactly, so
Yeah.
that's why I said that, so
Yeah.
I thought every year they had to be inspected,
Yeah,
because that's what you and I discussed, so if they don't, that's fine, Kelly came to my house and I made her do it again.
right, I know.
It had
And
already been
this
done,
was,
it's been right.
yeah, my time here was probably,
And that's okay, but I just want to make sure we clear that up, because I was under the impression that it was exactly what you just said,
Oh, there's Tony, by the way.
but then it changed, so at least, that's good. So that's good, that's the case, because it would make sense that.
Yeah.
Initially, it would. be
initially it
X
gets
amount of
inspected,
dollars.
if you're just coming back for renewal next year, you show that it's the same car
Insurance.
and your new updated insurance and you pay your fee.
yeah,
Some
go-
people already have insurance, like, already have the insurance here on file, so you don't need that.
so
I think Sarah was asking for. the
if
new
there's
update.
expiration
Yeah.
dates, yeah. but it's-
35 first time, JB?
I
30.
It's like our contractor permit. It's like our contractor permits. They're a year's insurance. You know what I mean? It's 1 year and we need to see that you've paid it for the next year.
No, you're missing what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
It goes out in August. You get your insurance in August every year and you replace it. You don't have to bring it in March when you get your permit. It's already on file. Saying. I've sent them here multiple times. Yours. I've sent Doug Wiley's. I've sent a bunch of them. Yep. I already sent the year prior. So what I'm saying is we already have it on
Good from
file.
August to August.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So we shouldn't have to require that if we already have it. That's what I'm saying. We already have it on file. We don't need to see it again and make more work for the client or whoever else. So we already have it. We update when it needs to be updated though. So that's right to be. Not in August, they're still right in August, obviously, right? Okay. So anyway, go ahead now. Not gonna talk. All right. No, I 35 for the first one and 10 for the renewal. Because really when you're renewing it, it's about a 2-minute process.
How much money we bring in? We bring
110, 115 golf carts
35, so grand.
times 25 now.
Yeah, it's 20. Closer to 3 then.
Yeah. 50 and 25 would be more realistic.
Boys, I mean,
That's gonna ride for 15. 10 years, 10 years, that's $250 right there. Okay.
I look at it,
I look at it as when you're renewing it, you would like them to come here and you want to get them.
What if you did
What-
15 and 30? That's $10
I think
less on your renewal.
My point is, I
$30
think you need to have a little bit of a break for the people who are doing it right. Where all they're doing in there is making a phone call and signing the paper. Right? I mean, that's all I did this year.
I mean, I didn't think 25 or 35 is bad. I mean, yearly, I never.
Trying to
get county permit
Give
too.
the folks a break, boys. Yeah, I mean,
County permit too.
doing it for
though.
the you don't have the kids.
If you get ours, you get the county included. in
For
it.
the kids. Saving money. What?
I think what the 25.
Probably.
That's what I said.
I think that does it 25 if you do it before a third date, and 50 if it's after a date. So you're what?
He's want to do it for free. But.
You know,
Community, boys.
we have this where before February 15th every year, like on our pet tags, $5 and $20. Now you could make it
See, that's what
I'm just trying to give, what I'm saying is the ones who've had the same golf cart for 8 years, 10 years.
So if they do
What
it-
do you think we do it like this? A renewal before
February 15th,
May
like our
1st
other
or
dates.
something? A
That's
renewal
up to
before
you.
May 1st gets you blah, 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 and this thing.
What if it's 20 before May 1st and 35 after May 1st?
There you go.
When you do April, April 1st. I like it.
What's it currently?
25 period.
You have a golf cart. You should be on board with this thing. I can't.
Well,
believe
it's
it.
UTV. I think Eric's kept in mind the tax changes we're going under here, which.
We need every dollar.
Every
we got
dollar
our-
counts.
Yeah,
You want to give raises?
Especially the police fund. We hired another police officer.
that's good. And that's where it goes. All of it goes to our police continuing education fund.
And training, yeah.
Yeah. Which, especially having the 2 officers to train, it does help, but the more training, I think, Frank will have more.
I like JB's
stuff.
idea though, of incentivized to get people to come in here and actually renew through us and not go through.
Not go through the county, not
That makes
do.
sense. Totally makes sense. I think
So
we
is
put
it-
it that by now.
What are you gonna go through the county? You never, they'll.
Ours-
ours.
Right, but I'm saying, I've always encouraged people
ours.
to come use it. I've encouraged more people from the lake to come in here and get a permit to go to town.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have, that is one thing that got brought up because we don't recognize the county tax. So if you drive a golf cart in here, we still want you to have the North Judson permit,
Right.
where the county does recognize
Yeah.
ours. And then the county kind of got wind that, oh, you're not recognizing ours. Well, maybe we should recognize yours. So.
We don't want to keep coming.
Right.
How often does that happen here though? How often do our police officers
Yeah,
pull over a golf cart
Probably
and
never.
say, let me
Yeah.
see your tag?
Yeah.
Probably about once in about.
Probably, unless they're doing something.
Twice a
Yeah,
year.
if they're doing something
not.
silly, probably,
Right.
or if they obviously don't have it displayed, maybe they might pull it over, just
Right.
like, hey, where's your
But
tag? Oh,
that
right
makes
here.
sense. I
Yeah.
understand that part.
But yeah, are they pulling over golf carts just for
County,
fun?
yeah, I don't- county did it out way. They're recognizing us. I don't know why we would recognize theirs. Same thing.
Okay, well, then we need to have an incentive then for them to come through us. So I do think like a time frame.
Yeah.
I'm
$10 by May 1st or April 1st, something like that.
15,
Are you already?
15,
15.
15 and 30. I think 15.
You're persuading that easy?
No, I'm persuaded that
Right?
easy.
Hold on, let's just let, what do you think about it? How much do you think it should be, Alex?
15 and 30 sounds good with me.
I don't have one either, but I'm not opposed to have to pay for something. That's not true.
Well, yeah, but there's so many of them. I mean, I wouldn't want to pay a lot.
$25 is a lot of money. Good job, Frank.
So what if you made it before March? What if you made it before March 1st?
Okay.
You know, everything, you have 2 months. January and February to get it. Even if you're not writing it, come in and get it.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
then-
That's probably better anyways, because once the weather turns nice, they're gonna get it some.
Yep.
Right.
So if we can beat the good weather.
They don't, I don't know that the county makes it easy to get them. I don't know.
I don't know that process either.
There's certain Saturdays.
Yeah.
You gotta go there, yeah.
Well, that's where our police, we give a call and they're there within 2 or 3 hours.
Or they bring it right up.
Or they bring it right to the town hall.
Exactly, same difference. Yeah.
But the county does not inspect, like this last year out at the lake, they didn't inspect them. You just brought your insurance and
Yeah, I mean,
they
you go
rolled it, because
through
there were so many out there that they got tired of screwing with it and just, they couldn't. handle
lights,
volume.
brake lights,
And
the whole 9
yeah.
yards. You got
You're on, it's you're in God's hands.
It's just part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Ordinance is part of it.
So is it by 3/1 or is it by 2/28? I think it would be by 2/28, 15. After
30.
2/28. 15 and 30. All right, I'll make that change.
What about when it's 2/29?
15 and 30 now.
I know, I thought about that. That's why I think you're doing 1.
25.
Prior to 3/1.
That's,
You think-
and why,
That's where we go.
yeah, prior to 3/1. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back. Be here in January.
Okay, we got that.
I've been waiting all summer for that, boys. I've been like, that's been marinated.
We've had it on the
Every
agenda.
irrigation run that is marinated. Right there.
I don't give you the $10 just to not.
A lot of time in planner, that's what I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. So how can I sell hard?
We'll have somebody try to bend us on that too, don't worry. And I mean, there's, we've got, so we'll need to publicize this, as you see in the first copy, there's a publication that goes, publicize the whole thing 30 days after that publication. Now, is this a thing where you want to just look through the other ones and provide feedback, or do you want to go through it all right now?
So I guess we don't, I mean, hey, you want to go through it now or not?
I guess it's up to you guys if you want to look through it and just if anything pops, that makes sense to me.
So the only thing I was gonna ask too is, like on
I'm gonna give Tony a copy.
Yeah.
personal garages and detached, structures and that kind of stuff. How much goes into an actual inspection? For what, for $500?
For detached,
For a detached, yeah.
usually do foundation, structure, electrical. Basically about it.
Gas if they have it.
Yeah, gas.
So this is
You got a gas pressure test.
This is the one like utility equipment fees. This is exhibit A, attached permit application. That's basically exhibit A. This is just pretty much all
This is
building
A.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So let me ask you this, would a $250 just flat fee, would that cover it? Instead of between 100 and 500?
Yeah, the 500 is a little steep.
Because the only reason I'm asking is because my brother and I just got done doing a 60 by 80 down there at the farm.
Right.
Our permit was $100 for the whole shooting match.
Yes.
She's been out once.
But I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, what about your big thing you built?
Here's my situation, what mine was. My house was a remodel and it was $100. My shop's $300 something.
That's what I'm.
It's a brand new structure.
Yeah.
It goes by square footage. So, all right. I'd honestly would say 250 if it's on the same property of a detached garage. or as extra
Mhm.
structure, because you're gonna have at least me going out there at the minimum 4 times, 3 to 4 times.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not one shot. You got 4 different
Right.
pits, yeah.
Even
So
if
now-
the whole barn, I still got to see the whole,
Right.
you know, and things. So
So now this is
still
the,
have a process there.
you're talking dwellings and, I guess I want to make sure we're all on the same.
Down toward the bottom.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
attached garage, okay.
Yeah.
So a
And
minimum of
attached
100
detached.
is, yeah,
And you got it by the square footage as of right now. The max,
yeah, I think we
Did
did.
they come up with that maximum when American Oak did? East over there, is that why they came up? Because it was such a large facility,
Well, see, east, that's not even in town.
right? But it was in our industrial park, so I thought, I remember hearing something back then that,
Trying to soak Charlie for.
well, no, I think Charlie wanted to get it for like $100. And we were going back and forth at the time going, come on,
and
it's
see, that's got,
got a.
that's got
10,000
fly
square foot
underneath the
facility,
commercial.
like,
So I don't know where he was trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes on, detached garage or accessory buildings, residential. 500's a little steep. Yes, I do believe that.
I mean, how big's that to be? It's gonna be pretty big, 500, right? It's gotta be,
Mine was over 300 something, and that's a big building. So
so think about it. It's gotta
Yeah.
be bigger, obviously quite a bit bigger than yours.
you ain't gonna have that.
Exactly.
So that maximum is within, but you're.
So he wants to build a building here and he's worried.
So
You
the,
better have a lot of lots.
He does. Yeah, it could work, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, as long as you don't bring pigs and stuff in town.
No, you
So-
can't do that. We already got. That's right.
so the attached garage, detached garage carport, minimum of 100, is that a low minimum for how many times you're gonna be out there depending on
Yes.
what it is? Okay,
Yeah.
so, I mean, look at our new single family dwelling, that's 250.
That's what I'm looking at too,
minimum,
yeah.
which you just match that 250 minimum, 500 max. And you're gonna fall within those two regardless. You're either gonna be at the very bottom, $250, or you're gonna be like in your case, 300 some dollars for the square footage. So you just bump that minimum up to 250 or 200, I'm not sure,
Right.
but 250
What
makes
Josh said,
sense.
he's saying we're charging too much overall. I'm saying
On the max.
on the max. side.
On the max.
Yeah.
Now,
20 cents square foot's fine, it's just cap it lower.
Yeah, I mean, you're
I
right.
would lower that, yes.
Because he's got to come out the same amount of times for a
go to 350
For
for the max.
I'd say
40
so.
by
200 square foot.
40 by 40 is yard, 30 by 60.
Yeah.
So bump the minimum up a little bit and then bump the max down to like 350.
Yeah. Because
150, 350?
like I was just telling you, I applied for my remodel and that added 2,100 square foot and remodeled the house. That's only $100. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 200, 400? Minimum? Maximum?
You take the money off. We're trying to increase them.
The minimum,
Well, in
200.
general,
Yeah.
like, the
Raise the
point of this is to
minimum,
bring these
Lower the
into
max.
2025, not
200 for the minimum and then
400 for the max.
lower the max.
Yeah, lower the max. So, I think. To see that somebody's building.
So that raise, it's 100 either way.
Yeah.
The 100 either way, you're raising the minimum, you're lowering the max. 200.
you're gonna have more people hit the minimum than you are.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Go 200 and 300 or
It's up to you guys. 150 to 200. I'm just telling you, probably at the very minimum, I'm gonna be there 3 times.
So 200 is a pretty decent base.
Yeah.
So I guess the max is the one number I need to hear.
Alex, what do you think? You build a pole barn, go
No. Yeah. 350.
When you guys who can speak up.
Alex said 350.
Okay.
200 to 350?
Yeah.
So it is going once, twice. All right, I'll finish that.
Yeah, I could look into this a little bit more.
Yeah, that's.
I just got to do that one in Alaska kind of like.
Yeah, right.
Well, they're priced, right? probably.
I went on it for a while.
Probably have to compare it to like city limits though, right?
So now that you've got this exhibit A, yeah, I would say it would be fruitful to go through that. Now, this is what Todd did go through and based on his calls and looking at
Yes,
what
surrounding
they
areas.
surrounding areas. We could take your input after having it digested, now that we have you in your position.
Right.
And we have a week from today, we can finalize this.
Okay.
And, if that works for everybody.
Yeah.
And that way I'll know from Justin, we could maybe do our, I think we have to have a public hearing and then adoption, but it has to be 14 days apart from the public hearing to adoption. And we have to, notify people that we're doing the public hearing. So it may be the second meeting in October, the first meeting in November, and then middle of November, we, publicize it, and the middle of December is when it takes effect. So we're going off the rudimentary old one for now. And that'll give Tony some time to go through this and give his input on the exhibit A, which is what he'll be covering primarily as building inspector. And that gives you guys a chance to take another look at the other stuff, which there's not like we discussed earlier, not a ton. We're not talking, doubling, tripling some of these
There's
fees.
nothing that's.
On the equipment, labor, miscellaneous, that kind of stuff. So. Cool. And I want to double check with Justin as well. And on the verbiage, you'll see in there, Tony, first shall unlawfully proceed to do work, the permit fee shall be tripled as a penalty, the payment of such penalty, we're gonna want all that to cross his desk in a more serious way.
Legal way.
Yeah, and whether or not those sort of ordinance exhibit numbers need to be slotted at the end in an order as disclosures, that kind of thing. We'll make sure of that as well.
Is there anything else on here we need to discuss?
No, just what you guys seen. If you have any thoughts by the next meeting, we can get all the numbers nailed down. I've got the couple we've discussed so far. Other than that, I don't think there's a ton in here that's not much has changed in any radical way whatsoever.
No, I'm sure. Well, no, but I go back. So my argument to all that stuff was like, if I do a porch project, a driveway project, and I'm looking at Nipsville relocating my electric, I've got close to $400, almost $5.
Before you start shoveling.
Before I start shoveling the ground here, yeah. I mean,
Or I even went up to Valpo and moved a little bit of plumbing for a doctor's office and $250.
Yeah.
Not
You-
included gas drive.
yeah.
This bond, you had to go to the county, register the bond, then go to Valpo and get the.
you want to encourage improvement. So, I mean, I understand you got to make money, but you know what I mean. You want to encourage
Right,
something to be done.
right.
Because ultimately, you're gonna make it back on the taxes anyway.
The thing of it is, modernizing this from the short list that we had previously, I think was the main. Yeah, the main goal was to modernize from, the very basic we had, whereas.
That's what I did 15 years ago.
Exactly.
I took it, broke it all down.
Yes, it's not just
Where
into
it was
these.
like, there was only like 3 permits you could get.
Exactly, yes, and we've added ones electrical, I remember that one, because we would have that one specifically where it's not a full on, you go out, and look at one time, you make sure it's right, you put your tag on it, it's done, $50. Boom, he's gone out, and he's done that. We didn't have anything in here for that, so those are the ones we've added over time. I think this is a reflection of Todd, which we'll take that with what we know, with what we know.
Yeah.
But there may be things to pare back, there may be things to leave as they are, there may be, that kind of thing. That's why I think Tony looking at this would have a better
Especially on
understanding.
the building inspector side.
Yes, and also with the thought that Todd, looked at other communities around here. And while we may be more in some areas, less in some areas, we need to find a middle ground that works for you guys, that works for.
Well, then you gotta think, we're paying for a service, so it's $6,000 a year or whatever it is for a service.
Sure.
So whatever that service is, we wanna cover that. So we can't go through and just, give things. Right, so we gotta be able to pay for that service.
Yep.
And there's tools, there's all those little things that come up that are a huge chunk of that, but if people do certain things to their property, there has to be some sort of a pay for someone that's,
Coming out to make sure. they're
position
doing
to
it
make
right.
it
Yeah,
work.
Make sure they don't burn the
Right,
house down and
yeah,
stuff. That means something too.
so.
All right, we'll keep it on the agenda for the next meeting and we'll get our timeline nailed down.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
Wayne Township 2025-2026 project funding agreement.
So as we discussed recently, Donna Woods from Wayne Township trustee's office came and saw Joe and I, and there's dollars there that they need to have allocated to spend by the end of this month. So I've contacted Joe about the resolution that we would need for those. So the allocation of funds, she's looking to implement and from their advisory council to the fire department and to our town cemetery, as we've already got things planned for the cemetery, road removal, repaving, and the engineering design element of new grade implementation. Joe has already touched base with a couple contractors on the paving side. We've touched base today with both of our funeral people, funeral directors that we wanted to get involved with this, Mark Smith and Doug O'Donnell. We've touched base with them. We're meeting with one of them tomorrow about those implementation or sometimes
day 1:30.
Gotcha. So those sort of the three areas. I'll let Joe touch on the fire side, but in order to get, we've got Bob Alloy on the design engineering side who can turn around a quick estimation for what his fees would be in order to take what roads we remove, implement new sections and new grave lots in there. Pretty much we need to have that resolution agreement done and approved by the end of the month for 26 funding. So this being the direction we've discussed over the last couple of years, it's sort of a hurry up and then it's a hurry up and wait kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll be working on those quotes and getting those resolutions to you guys by the next meeting. Worst case scenario, I need to meet 15 minutes to approve something if we don't have all the numbers in there, because we need to have it needs to be a blueprint for how we're going to spend it next year in a quick turnaround time. We're working on it.
We've already got one quote from Town and Country to redo paving of the road that around the entire cemetery. The majority of that, and then the one road that goes straight through it with the circle around there to repave that, and then to take out some of the roads and just put black topsoil.
Yeah.
So we can seed it and get grades there. It's right at 130,000. So by the time we're into that, and obviously some engineering fees, what the township has offer us is it'll cover.
We would use every dime of
but
that.
I mean, that's huge that we're not having to pull out of RDC or something like that for it. So
yes, we've got
we'll jump through the
design,
hoops.
the design engineering of it, Bob Alloy's side. If that's not facilitated, that's a small price to have those roads removed and new sections and paved that's there. So it's all angles. It covers bases we know we needed to cover, and it keeps a lot more dollars in our pocket that we would have had to fork out over 5 years. We get it done over a year and a half.
Yeah, something that we're going to be able to knock out by next year.
Yeah.
The 130,000. That just seems like an insane amount of money for that.
A lot of road when you start getting out to that cemetery, you start going all around it.
It's bigger than you think.
It's bigger, and then run right through it.
Asphalt ain't cheap anymore. No,
that's
the
middle.
problem. Yeah.
And then them actually milling up, taking out roads, and then bringing in black topsoil.
That was including
Yes.
asphalt.
Yes.
I missed that part of it.
Yeah. So I told Andrew, I said,
I was thinking, I thought we were just taking out roads.
No.
Putting in graves.
No.
How's that even possible?
no, that was I told him, I said,
That's paving it.
That's paving. Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. Right.
Paving the outer of the cemetery and that road right through.
Yeah.
And then taking out some roads and just black
Right.
dirt. But
Which
yeah.
is what we needed to create graves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
So when we got it, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this wasn't as terrible as I thought. I was
No.
thinking it was going to be worse.
And as we meet with these funeral directors and all that, we're already looking at space for which we could allocate columbarium, cremated graves. Right when you drive in, there's that big piece of land to the right of you as you drive in. You could stagger 2 or 3 columbariums there, and have it a little nice area where you could utilize that in a way that it's not a huge footprint, but you could have it curved sideways and have, a pull off area on the left. There's a lot of ways we could do it up on the hill. So those are things I'd like to break down in those discussions, not just which roads to remove, what's gonna be convenient
Right.
for you guys on a cremain side in what areas, because they've done them at other cemeteries. I know Mark Smith put in cremains, graves, and columbariums that he's helped with other cemeteries in the county.
Yeah,
So
and I-
bending their ear.
yeah, and I think Doug's got some feedback on
Yep.
that too, so that's.
Yep,
that's gonna be great.
absolutely, yeah. So we'll just keep you apprised of those. I just wanted to mention it, just to keep your wheels turning on it and to expect those resolutions, or like I said, and even if it's a quick morning meeting with 4 out of the 5 of us there, however it needs to happen, if we need to approve it. Not at if we don't have it available at the next meeting, we may need to schedule something quick just to get it done to satisfy State Board of Accounts for the township.
Additional business even necessary by the council. Alex, you have anything?
No.
Eric?
No.
Linda?
No.
Josh? I don't either.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we got one more.
Yeah.
Road to us.
And I would like to stop this is a council meeting. I just need to do it set up live again. Give me one sec.